Okay, I think we'll go ahead and get started. Good morning, or for people in the future watching this recording, happy day. This week, I've been kind of struggling to come up with a heart space intention, and in my classes, I figured being honest about that is better than just trying to fill in the space. And when I started to think about this, like pressure to step into my yoga teaching role and offer a drop of wisdom when I feel like I myself am feeling like a little lost in terms of inspiration. The best thing to do is just be honest about that, because I think as humans, we all will come to a point in our lives, or many points in our lives, many moments in our lives where we are at a loss of words. And the kind of clearest example that came to mind for me is if we're in a conversation with a friend or a loved one and they're moving through a difficult time. Sometimes we don't know what the right words are to say. And I feel like over the last couple of years, I feel like almost every time I teach, I'm stepping into this difficult conversation and I'm hoping that I have the right things to say. And often I feel like I fall short of that. And so this week for classes, the heart space intention or the offering is me just being honest about that. That as humans, there's going to be this time where we feel like our words fall short. And the beautiful thing about yoga and this practice is that it's not a practice of conversation. It's a practice where we move and breathe, and it's about the embodiment. And so this practice is something that works through us. And just by showing up and just by connecting to the breath, that is enough already. And so as we move through our practice this morning, I hope that just the breath and the shapes are enough, and that the practice becomes whatever you need it to be. And you feel inspired by your own heart to maybe create an intention of your own. So we're going to start right away in seated meditation, and then we'll transition to the back body and move from there. But if you want to start in Shavasana right away, feel free to start in Shavasana right away. Just take a moment though to close your eyes. Get comfortable, allowing your sits bones to anchor down into the earth. And then the energy of rooting down into the earth to create a sense of grounding throughout your entire body. And also feeling the complement of that rooting action. Feel a little bit of a rise action through your spine, through the crown of your head, an upward buoyancy through the upper half of your body. Maybe allow your shoulders to settle into your torso a little bit more. Allow your jaw to soften. Just become aware of the movement of your breath. Aware of the rise of each breath in and the release of each breath out. And when you're ready to expand your breath, let every inhale start to grow a little bit wider. Let every exhale stretch out a little bit longer. As each breath in expands, and each breath out extends. Feel yourself transitioning more completely into this moment, into your body, into your practice. And if an intention, a heart space intention begins to naturally arise, allow that heart space intention to step forward, filling up the space at your heart, at your mind, at the forefront. But if a heart space intention doesn't come up right away, if you feel like you're not quite sure what to fill in that space with, maybe you just allow that space to stay open. Maybe you allow that space to remain open for your practice. And if something naturally comes up, you can fill it in. But also allowing ourselves just to hold that space for ourselves is a part of this practice. Sometimes instead of filling in space with words, we allow the space to be. Maybe that space leads to the answers that we're looking for. Whether you're holding an intention at your heart or you're holding that space for yourself at your heart, go ahead and take a really big breath in through your nose. Let your lungs fill up all the way to the top. And then as you're ready, an open mouth exhale to release. And just take your time to find your way onto your back body into a full body stretch. So allow your hands to eventually reach up and overhead. Take a moment to spread your fingers, spread your toes. Maybe circle through your ankles and your wrists a couple times. Making sure that you're moving those circles in both directions, so changing the rotation. And then eventually bring both knees into your body and just start with a hug towards your heart space. And taking a moment here, maybe a little rock from side to side. Then go ahead and interlace your hands onto your right shin and extend your left leg out so that you find when you're moving pose. Left thigh heavy and right thigh close. Take a big breath into your belly. And follow your exhale to your supine twist. Let your right knee tip across you towards the left. Let your right shoulder get heavy towards the earth. Take a slow breath along your right side body. Maybe twist a little bit deeper as you breathe out. Good. One more breath here. And then from your supine twist, you're going to unwind into a supine tree. So allow your right knee to fall open to the side like a half butterfly or half Supta Baddha Konasana. Your right foot doesn't have to touch your inner left thigh. Just let your right knee be open wide. Left leg is long like Shavasana. Then gather in a slow inhale. Just be patient as that breath exhales out. And then keep your right knee bent, but then turn the sole of your right foot down to the earth. Right knee points to the sky. So you have like a bridge leg on your right side. From there, use your core to lift your left leg up to the ceiling, finding your hamstring stretch. Reach around your left leg and gather your leg close. If you want to, you can point and flex and circle through your left ankle here, and checking in with the joint. And then flex your left heel high to the sky, pull your navel to your spine, reach your hands up and overhead like a full body stretch. And you can either keep your right foot as is, so bridge to the earth. If you want some extra challenge, reach your right leg forward to a low diagonal or a hover. You just want to make sure your low back stays anchored to the earth the whole time. On your inhale, you're going to lower your left leg down any amount. So if your right leg is extended, maybe your left heel comes to tap your right toes. On your exhale, you're going to lift your left leg to the sky, slowly lift your head and shoulders, and then reach your hands forward to frame your left thigh, reaching towards the top of your yoga mat. We'll do that 2 more times. So slow motion, inhale to lower your left leg. Slow motion, start to reach your hands up and overhead. And then on your exhale, left leg lifts, head and shoulders lift. And we reach forward to the top. Think about leading with your heart space. And one more time, inhale, left leg lowers, hands reach up and overhead. And on your exhale, left leg lifts, head and shoulders lift. Reach forward, forward, forward. And then slowly release and relax. Bring your knees into your body. Let your head and shoulders drop back. Then interlace your hands onto your left shin. Reach your right leg out across the earth. When you're moving, pose second side. Just pause here as you breathe in. And with your exhale, supine twist, left knee tips over to the right. And one more slow inhale. And perhaps an even slower exhale as you lengthen that breath out. And winding into supine tree, let your left knee fall open to the left. This doesn't have to be exact like your standing tree pose. The sole of your left foot might not touch your inner right thigh. Just allow your left knee to be open and heavy for one breath here. And then as you bridge your left foot to the earth, left knee points to the ceiling, your core strength lifts your right leg to the sky. You'll find your hamstring stretch second side. And again, point, flex, circle out your right ankle. Taking just 1 to 2 more slow breaths. And start to send your right heel high to the sky. Reach your hands up overhead like your full body stretch. Then you can keep your left foot grounded to the earth. But if you want added intensity, more challenge, reach your left leg towards a low diagonal or a hover. And making sure we concentrate the effort in our core and our low back feels supported. On your breath in, start to lower your right leg any amount. It doesn't have to go incredibly low. Just find that sweet spot for your center. And on your exhale, lift your right leg to the sky. Lift your head and shoulders and start to reach forward to the top, taking your time in both directions. We'll just take that 2 more rounds. So inhale, right leg lowers, hands reach up and overhead. All of this controlled by your core. On your exhale, lift your right leg, lift your head and shoulders, and reach forward to the top. And one more time, inhale, right leg lowers, reach your hands up and overhead, big stretch. Navel to spine, exhale, right leg to the sky, head and shoulders rise as you reach forward. And from here, release and relax knees to chest. Just take a big breath in through your nose. Maybe an open mouth exhale, let it all go. And start to find your way up to tabletop pose, all fours. So you can rock and roll forward and back a couple of times. You can also just tip to one side or the other and push your way up. You're gonna bring yourself into tabletop. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Go ahead and breathe into your cow pose. Lift your heart, lift your tail. So your sternum stretch forward and up. Then exhale, cat pose, slowly round your spine, push the earth away. Your head fall heavy between your biceps. One more time like this. Inhale, cow pose, heart and tailbone rise. And exhale, cat pose, round your spine. This time, inhale to your cow shape. Lift your heart, lift your tail. On your exhale, keep your hips high, walk your hands forward, and then dive your forehead or your chest down to the earth. Finding your puppy pose, Anahatasana. And from here, we're gonna root into your hands. Use your core to start to pick up your chest, and then walk your hands back beneath your shoulders for a tabletop. Tuck your toes underneath, take a big breath in. As you exhale, hover your knees just above the earth, your hovering tabletop pose. Take a moment here to root into your hands and to root into your toes. Feel your navel magnetize to your spine and take a slow breath in. Your exhale, downward facing dog. Use your core strength to pull your pelvis up and back. And then take a moment here to reach one heel down to the earth and then the other. If you want to adjust your hands and feet at all, take a moment just to find your downward facing dog. While your head to hang heavy, begin to walk forward to the top of your yoga mat into your forward fold. Allow your knees to soften and just let your upper body rest onto your thighs. Maybe sway a little bit forward and back. Continuing to release the weight of your skull. Maybe even find a little lift of your tailbone towards the sky. On your next breath in, start to find your halfway lift, lengthen out from crown to tail, Ardha Uttanasana. With your exhale, forward fold, release right back down. We'll inhale to rise all the way to stand. Urdhva, deep breath, reach up high. With your exhale, soften your knees, goddess your arms, allow your arms to open wide, and then swan dive forward to your forward fold. Heart leads the way as you hinge at your hips. We'll take a halfway lift at the bottom, big breath in. And on your exhale, high plank, plant your hands, step your feet back. And just take a moment here, knees can be up or down. Push into the earth just as you did in your hovering tabletop. So hands root down, toes root down, thighs are active and engaged. With your navel hugged to your spine, on your in-breath, begin to shift forward. And your exhale, lower slowly to the earth, elbows go straight back. And your quadriceps stay engaged the whole time. So thighs are strong all the way to your belly. Untuck your toes and breathe into your low cobra. Lift the back of your heart space. Good, maybe hover your hands as you breathe out, really isolating the strength along your spine. Take an extra breath in just right here. And release when you're ready. Finding Gecko pose, take your hands wider than your yoga mat. Tighten your fingertips and stack your elbows over your wrists. Think elbows over wrists and shoulders out of ears. As you breathe in, lift your heart up any amount. Might be a little bit, might be a lot. On your exhale, dip your left shoulder and gaze to the right. From here, breathe in, lift and lengthen through your center. And exhale, second side, sink your right shoulder and gaze over to the left. And inhale, lift and lengthen through your center. This time on your exhale, pull your heart forward and lower all the way down. With your hands by your low ribs, follow your next inhale to upward facing dog. Feel free to go back to cobra if that feels better for your body in this moment. And exhale to downward facing dog, hips find the sky. Then from here, we're gonna inhale our heels up high. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward, and then step or hop to the top forward fold. Once you find the top of your yoga mat, use your inhale to lift up halfway, lengthen out. And exhale, forward fold, release. Good, rise all the way to stand, Urdhva, full breath in. Just like before, exhale, goddess arms, soft knees, and then swan dive forward. Heart spills down towards the earth. We'll take a halfway lift at the bottom, inhale to lengthen. And exhale to high plank, plant your hands, step your feet back. Good, pause right here as you breathe in. And stay right here as you breathe out. Inhale forward to your tippy toes. Exhale, lower halfway or all the way for your chaturanga. Open your heart up, dog or cobra. And then back to downward facing dog. Use your center body strength to lift your pelvis to the sky. Okay, from your downward facing dog, go ahead and take a big breath in through your nose. Then exhale out of your mouth. And inhale, lift your heels up high. On your exhale, bring your right knee to your nose, shifting forward. So right knee to nose, shoulders and ears shift way far forward. And then from here, three-legged dog, breathe your right leg up and back. On your exhale, you're gonna bring your right knee down to the earth, about halfway up between your left toes and your hands. So right knee's gonna come to the ground like a tabletop leg. Now walk your hands over to the left. You take your right toes behind you. So you're in this like extended leg tabletop shape facing the left side of your yoga mat. Four corners of your left foot are on the earth. I'm hoping this translates through the computer. And then you're gonna walk your hands a little bit forward and reach your hips a little bit back. So this is like an extended leg child's pose. Or if you wanna keep your hips a little bit higher and drop your chest a little bit lower, this can be like an extended leg puppy pose. You're working to create space to the inseam of your left leg. So your hip creases stretch way back wherever you are, and take one more breath. As you shift forward again, you're gonna go back through that extended leg tabletop shape. So hips shift forward, hands walk a little bit back. And then walk your hands towards the top of your yoga mat. You're gonna pivot onto your left toes. So you turn to face forward, bring your right knee to your nose. From here, three-legged dog, reach your right leg to the sky, and then bend your knee and open your hip dog in a fire hydrant. Pull your navel in, flex your right foot today, and think about pressing your right heel to the wall on the left side of your body. Can you feel your right glute squeeze on? From here, three-legged dog, re-extend your right leg, and then step your right foot to the outside of your right hand, a big wide step forward. First, just come to your fingertips. You're in a lifted lizard lunge. Dip your left knee to a hover and reach your heart forward. Right knee is wide. And then slowly lower your left knee all the way to the earth. Left palm to the ground. We're gonna take twisted monkey here. So your right toes can turn to the right a little bit if you want. You can peel on to the pinky edge of your right foot. So your right big toe can peel off the earth. Right hand can go to your inner thigh. Right hand can go to the back of the room, or you can bend your left heel towards your seat. Bending twisted monkey, maybe you catch your left foot with your right hand. So right hip is open, maybe you're finding a left quadricep stretch. Then twist your heart towards the right, feel your left ribs roll towards your right thigh. From here, release your right hand to the inside of your right foot. Turn your right toes forward again, and then tuck your back toes and lift your back knee. You're in a lifted lizard lunge. You're gonna squeeze your right knee into your right tricep. You can either hold here or find a half crow, maybe pick up your right foot for a moment. Stepping back to high plank, take a big breath in. On your exhale, vinyasa or down dog. So maybe move through your chaturanga. Or perhaps you just go up and back to downward facing dog. Okay, from our downward facing dog, as you arrive, we're gonna find second side. So with your breath in, just lift your heels up high. On your exhale, bring your left knee to your nose, shift forward. Try to keep your shoulders out of your ears. From knee to nose, three-legged dog. Inhale, lift your left leg to the sky. On your exhale, bring your left knee to the earth about halfway up your yoga mat, think tabletop. Pivoting to the right, find your extended leg tabletop. You're facing the right side of your yoga mat. You're gonna walk your hands forward, reach your hips back, sink any amount. You're working for that inner right thigh stretch. If your hips sink way back and if it's available, you can flex your right toes to the sky like Shavasana. So make sure you're rooting down through your right heel gently. So the target is opening up through our inner right thigh. And from here, take your time to shift forward again, back into your extended leg tabletop. As you walk your hands towards the top of your yoga mat like high plank, pivot onto your right toes and bring your left knee up into your nose. Three-legged dog from here, left leg lifts to the sky, and then bend your knee and open your hip. As you pull your belly in, flex your left foot to relax your head, and then use your left glute to squeeze your left heel towards the wall on the right side of your body. You're going to push your left foot over to the right from strong seat. Now from here, we're going to go three-legged dog with our inhale. Land your left foot forward to the top as you exhale. Let your left foot go wider than your left hand, so you can always help it there. You can always wiggle it into place. From your lizard lunge, rise to your fingertips to start, and just let your right knee hover first. As your right knee hovers, pull your heart forward. Feel a little bit more stretch to the front of your right hip, and then release your right knee down. Right palm releases to the earth. Moving to your twisted monkey, check in with your left ankle first. So let your left toes point the direction your left knee wants to go. And then in addition to the direction of your toes, if you want to peel onto the outside edge of your left foot, you can do that. Left hand would be to inner thigh. Perhaps it stretches to the back of the room, or adding in the thigh stretch for twisted monkey. You might grab your right foot. And really spiral your ribcage to the left. But feel your shoulder blades push your sternum forward towards the top of your yoga mat. And just find one more breath here, opening through your right thigh, maybe your twist, and into your hips. We're going to meet in our lifted lizard lunge. So left hand comes to the inside of your left foot, back toes tuck, and back knee lifts. Now squeeze your left knee into your left tricep, hold here, or pick up your left foot for that half crow shape. High plank is your breath in, step back. Exhale, vinyasa or down dog. And as you return to your down dog, we're going to move on to the next layer of this sequence. So the very beginning is the same. We're going to inhale, heels lift high. Exhale, right knee to nose, shift forward. Shoulders out of ears. Three-legged dog, breathe your right leg up and back. Then this is where we add in a little change. Tuck your right foot forward to the top of your yoga mat. Once your right foot steps forward, turn your toes to the left and bend into your left knee for your side lunge or skandasana. So continuing that same inner thigh opening, hip opening. Get proud through your chest. Take a breath in. With exhale, we turn to the back of our yoga mat, low lunge facing the back. And then re-rotate your right heel down to the earth, creating the roots of a warrior two. Let your hips get low, lift your heart a little bit up first, just a little lift of your chest would be like half an inch even. Then press through your feet and rise up, Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. You need to move your feet, take a moment to adjust your roots. And then on your inhale, reverse your warrior. Left hand's gonna reach up to the sky. And from here, your exhale, take your left fingertips towards that space between your shoulder blades. Try to untuck your chin from your chest. If your head, the back of your head is pressing into your forearm, keep your forearm really steady, but push your skull into your forearm. From here, you can take your right hand to your left elbow and find a little bit of opposing action there. So think about pushing your left elbow gently up into your right palm inverting down into left elbow. And perhaps a little bit more of the side bend as well. Lean back and lift up out of your low back, and then take one more breath in. We're gonna go side angle pose from here. So keeping the length in your left side body, tip forward and spread your wings open, side angle pose. Now, for our extended side angle, instead of just taking our right hand directly overhead, we're gonna reach towards what used to be the top of our yoga mat, palm facing the earth. Then reach your right hand forward from your heart, tracing the horizon line. And then take your hand into your extended side angle. So your palm is facing the earth. You're using that rotational action of your right shoulder to arrive here. Left glute drive down with your left heel. Reverse your triangle, rise up and out as you breathe in. And then turn all 10 toes forward. Soften your knees and hinge from your hips into your wide-legged forward fold. Take an inhale to lift up halfway, lengthen out of it. And exhale, fold a little bit deeper. And this time, breathe in, lift up halfway. And on your exhale, bring your heels in and sink into your goddess squat. Sit into your seat. Lift up your chest, find your goddess arms. Pull your front ribs in a little bit, pull your navel to your spine. Then lean your shoulders back to stack over your hips. Hips stay low, just inhale, reach your hands up high. On your exhale, goddess your arms. And 2 more like that, breathe in, reach your hands high, keep your hips low, maybe they sink even lower. And exhale, goddess arms. Really squeezing that space between your shoulder blades. One more time, breathe in, reach up. With your breath out, goddess arms, squeeze your strong upper back. This time, star pose, push the earth away as you lift and lengthen. Turn your right toes in and left toes to warrior 2. Where you bend into your left knee. You need to adjust your feet, you can. We're gonna reach forward through our left fingertips on our inhale. Then low lunge with your hands down to the earth with your exhale. Unhook your back heel. Push into your hands, 3-legged dog. Lift your left leg to the sky. Bend your knee, open your hip. Stay here or find wild thing. Option to step your left toes behind you and open through your heart. Take a big breath in. And whenever you're ready, Vinyasa or a down dog. So you can either unwind into a chaturanga or you can unwind to plank and just go back to downward facing dog. So you decide. And once you find your way back to downward facing dog, we're going to move through second side. So inhale, heels rise high. On your exhale, bring your left knee to your nose, shift forward. Keep your shoulders out of your ears. 3-legged dog, big breath in, left leg lifts. And on your exhale, lay your left foot forward to the top of your yoga mat. Turn all 10 toes to the right and bend into your right knee for a side lunge. Or maybe Skandasana. Do a lengthen through your spine. Taking one more inhale here. On your exhale, turn to the top of your yoga mat. Low lunge to the very top of your yoga mat again. But then rotate your left heel back to the earth. Let your hips get heavy. Lift your heart, maybe 1/2 inch or an inch. From there, warrior 2. Root to rise all the way up. Now settle into your strong roots. Give yourself a moment to adjust. Then keeping your right thigh bone nice and heavy, inhale to reverse your right hand to the sky. Now let your exhale, take your right fingertips to that space between your shoulder blades. And again, depending on where you are here, you might press your skull into your right forearm. Sometimes pressing your head back into your forearm creates more of a structure on your shoulder blade, your scapula. If that doesn't create that sensation for you, no worries. You're just gonna reach your left hand up overhead to your right elbow. Pull your front ribs in to lean your head back to lift your chin off of your chest. And then think about emphasizing the side bend in your body. To make sure you're lifting out of your low back as well as you take one more inhale. We're gonna exhale to side angle. Long right side body as you tip forward. And then we'll do that same like half circle sweep for our extended side angle. So reach your left hand to the back of your yoga mat, palm faces the earth. And then draw across the horizon line with your left hand until you sweep your left hand overhead, palm still facing the ground. So thumb is to the wall behind your heart. So your right glute rooting down through your right heel. Maybe lunge a little bit deeper even. And then reverse your triangle. Press your legs to rise all the way up and out. All 10 toes turn forward. Soften your knees into your hip creases, pull back. So you hinge into your forward fold. Right away, inhale to lift up halfway. And exhale, fold a little bit deeper. Good. Give yourself an extra breath in your forward fold on this side. Then lengthening halfway, you're gonna bring your heels in once again, sinking into your goddess squat. Lift your heart, lift your hands, but then take your hands onto your thighs. We're gonna do a kind of shoulder opening like Gecko pose, but in our goddess squat. So breath in here. On your exhale, dip your left shoulder to the center and gaze over to the right, or even rotate your gaze up towards the sky. Your arms can be long, or you can bend your elbows, it's up to you. Then inhale, bring yourself back to center. On your exhale, second side, right shoulder dips in, gaze over to the left, or rotate your gaze up towards the sky. Then inhale back through center. Your exhale, just get rooted through your feet, and then take your time as you press down through your feet, especially your heels, to rise up through your star pose. We're gonna go warrior two to the front of our yoga mat, so left heel spins back, right toes turn forward. Reach forward through your right hand, big breath in, and then windmill down, low lunge on your exhale out. Your hands planted into the earth, three-legged dog, right leg reaches to the sky with your breath. Bend your knee, open your hip. Stay or wild thing, maybe right toes land behind you. Opening your heart, take a big breath in. Whenever you're ready, you choose Vinyasa or a down dog with your breath out. So you'll find your way to high plank and then either take a chaturanga or go directly to downward facing dog. Good. From here, go ahead and breathe in, lift your heels up high. Then as you breathe out, bend your knees and step or hop to the top forward fold. In your forward fold, just take a breath to hang out, heavy through your head, tall through your tailbone. Go ahead and inhale, lift up halfway. And your exhale, begin to find your way into your chair pose. So let your seat get low and start to lift up through your heart in your hands. We're gonna finish off with a little bit of balance work, a little bit of standing balance. So from your chair pose, big breath in. Airplane your arms beside you as you breathe out. Lean into your left foot and come to your right tippy toe. Getting really strong with your left seat, strong with your left thigh and core. For a little bit extra challenge, you can flamingo your right heel to your seat. For extra challenge, slide your right knee back for a spicy flamingo. Keep your belly super strong. Just want to feel that added spice in your hamstring. We're going to inhale to rise up one-legged Tadasana. Take your time. If you want extra spice here, you can extend your right leg forward for a moment. Then your quadricep engage. From here, we're going to go tree pose. Bring your right foot to the inside of your left leg, either above or below your knee joint. Hands might come to heart center in your tree pose. But you could also take your hands behind you and interlace your hands. Go ahead and put your right thumb on top for the side if you're choosing that chest expansion bind. For the chest expansion bind, you can draw your elbows together with bent elbows, opening your chest. You can also lengthen your arms and lift your heart. So we're going to have two different variations here. From here, bring your right knee forward. Option to re-extend your right leg for a moment. We're going to go airplane pose. So this can be a bound or a traditional airplane pose. Right leg flies back. Last option here, you can keep the airplane leg traditional or bend your right heel into a little hamstring curl. Pressing your right heel up to the sky as you pull your navel to your spine. Slow motion from whatever variation you've taken. Step your right foot back to your high crescent. Okay, reach your hands up to the sky on your breath in. And then goddess your arms, elbows open wide with your breath out. Inhale your fingertips to the ceiling. Exhale your hands down to the earth. Find a gentle standing split, right leg to the ceiling, breath in. And forward fold as you breathe out. Softening through both your knees, dive over your thighs. When you're ready, inhale to your halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, chair pose, sink into your seat, lift your heart. Great, take a moment right here. Feeling your chair pose, shoulders out of ears, maybe take your hands a little bit wider so that gives some freedom around your neck. Full breath in, airplane arms, breath out. Good, lean into your right foot, come to left tippy toe. The other two options for a little extra challenge are flamingo left leg or spicy flamingo. And remember, you want to make sure that your torso stays the same. In spicy flamingo, you're just sliding your left knee back. We'll inhale to rise up with our left leg, one-legged Tadasana. Option to extend your left leg forward if you want to. From your one-legged Tadasana, you're going tree pose, Vrikshasana. So left foot to the inside of your right leg, above or below your knee joint. And just take a moment to decide how you'd like to place your arms. Hands at heart, and interlace your hands behind you, this time taking left thumb on top of right. And find a bent elbow, chest expansion bind. Or you can find a long arm, extended arm, chest expansion bind. Make sure your front ribs are hugged in. Take one more moment here. Your tree pose of choice. You'd like to keep the bind of your hands if you're using that as an added challenge, you can keep it. We're gonna bring our left knee forward again. Maybe lengthen your left leg long. And then swing it back into your airplane pose slow. So again, this can be a bound or traditional airplane. The last optional add-on is a little hamstring curl of left heel towards seat. Navel to spine, left heel lifting to the sky. Also think about lifting your thigh bone up to the ceiling. One more breath in. We're going to step back into our crescent lunge. Take all the time you need, left toes land. Then inhale to lift up through your heart and hands. Goddess your arms on your exhale, open up your chest. Hands to the ceiling with your inhale, reach high to the sky. When you're ready, bring your hands down to the earth to frame your right foot. Gentle standing splits, left leg lifts towards the sky for one breath in. Then bend both of your knees as you step into your forward fold, breath out. Take pinkies to opposite elbow creases, hanging in ragdoll. Sway a little bit from side to side. And then go ahead and take one last halfway lift on your breath in. And bend your knees and have a seat as you breathe out. So before we lie down, we're just going to take one seated stretch here. We're going to do our traditional seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana. So you might have a little softness in your knees if you'd like. Some people like to sit up on a little bit of a blanket, a little bit of height, so that can be a blanket. Sometimes a block is too high, but feel free to use props if you want to. We're going to inhale to reach up high through our heart and hands. Now on your exhale, think about your thigh bones, your femur bones, pulling backwards in space. So as you exhale and hinge forward, thigh bones are actively pulling to the back of your yoga mat, so your heart reaches forward. And you can bring your hands down to the earth for your body. So maintaining some of our neutral spine to start. Hip creases, thigh bones pull back, hearts drawing forward and up. And then once you give yourself a couple breaths, just in a really long neutral spine, then if you want to, you can start to round forward, finding your deeper forward fold. We'll be here about 3 to 5 breaths. So feel free to adjust as much as you need in the course of those breaths. Starting to check in with your body. You can decide to stay here longer if you would like to. Otherwise, we'll use your hands to help you back up. And then scoot your hips towards your heels just a little bit, finding your heel anchors. You're going to flex your feet into the earth. You'll lift up through your heart in your hands, a big breath in, and on your exhale, slow, controlled release to your back body, trying to keep your heels anchored the whole way down. Good. We'll meet on the back body in a full body stretch. So when you're ready, start to reach from your fingers to your toes, a full body stretch. Big breath in and exhale, knees to chest. Your thighs hugged into your heart, feel the length to your low back. And then we're going to eagle wrap our right thigh around our left. You just need a single eagle leg stack. Land your left foot down to the earth. And for our eagle leg twist, you might scooch your hips over to the right a little bit first. And then let your eagle legs drop over to your left. From your eagle leg twist, we're going to keep your left foot connected to the earth. Just tip your knees to the sky and square your hips. Then slide your right ankle onto left thigh for figure 4. You can keep your left foot grounded, or you can bring that whole figure 4 towards your body. You'll be threading the needle by reaching around to grab your left hamstring. Active right ankle, feel free to take a little rock from side to side. We're going to unwind through happy baby to find our way towards second side. So find your way into your favorite happy baby. This can just be hands to shins, knees wide, or of course you can reach up to your ankles or your feet if you'd like to take that variation instead. Maybe a little bit of a rock from side to side. You can also play with the extension of one or both legs. And just take one more breath in. We'll exhale, knees bent. Eagle wrap your left thigh on top of your right. Place your right foot down to the earth. And then we're going to take our eagle leg twist, knees to the right. But if you'd like to, you might scoot your pelvis to the left first. So maybe hips go left, knees go right. You'll find your way into your eagle leg twist. From your eagle leg twist, we're going to start to make our way towards figure four. So you'll bring the sole of your right foot to the earth, square your hips up, and then slide your left ankle to your right thigh. Again, you can choose to have your right foot grounded. You can bring that whole figure four towards your body. You can find movement if that feels good. Taking about 2 to 3 breaths to open through your left hip, your left seat. And then when you're complete in your figure four, you're going to find your way to bridge pose. So just when you're complete, there's no rush. You're going to keep your knees bent and land your feet down to the earth. Your feet about hips distance, heels stacked beneath your knees. Take a big breath in. And then on your exhale, start to lift your pelvis up towards the sky. If you want to, you can slide your shoulder blades closer together, and then interlace your hands underneath you for that chest expansion bind, or you can keep your arms beside you. From here, you can either stay right here, or if you want to, a little bit of extra challenge, get really strong with your left foot, active through your core, maybe reach your right leg up to the sky. Navel to spine. Your hips might not be as high, but you want to have your left heel driving down, tailbone stretching forward. Your right foot is lifted. Release your right foot back to the ground. Set back up into your bridge pose. Root through your right foot, active belly. Maybe lift your left leg to the sky. Think tailbone stretches forward. Right heel's driving down. You're reaching up through your left foot. You take one more breath in, and then back to bridge pose on your breath out. Everyone take one final inhale in your bridge, and then exhale, tailbone lengthens forward as you slowly lower all the way down. And when your hips arrive to the earth, bring the soles of your feet together, knees open wide, butterfly pose, Supine Tree. You might place one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart. Take a slow, slow breath in and a slow, slow breath out. Feeling the steady flow of in breath and out breath. And if you feel comfortable right here, if your body is enjoying the sensations of this shape, then you might decide to stay a little bit longer and just continue to rest in your butterfly. Otherwise, we're headed to Shavasana, so if you'd like to, you can reach down and help your legs back together. Maybe drawing your knees into your chest and your nose up to your knees. You might take one more big breath in here. And then exhale to your Shavasana. Go ahead and allow your whole body to release and relax to the earth. Maybe giving yourself a moment to be a little bit extra picky with how you land. Let your eyes drop closed if they're not already. Maybe take one more deep breath in through your nose. And one more open mouth exhale, letting that whole breath go. You feel your mind starting to wander. Maybe bring your awareness back to your breath, back to the sensations moving through your body. And back to this moment right here, right now. And as we allow ourselves to settle into the stillness at the end of practice, you can allow the stillness to be our teacher. And so often our hearts are whispering to us, but until we find some stillness, we might not even know that they are trying to reach out. There is something moving through our hearts that needs acknowledgement, healing. So allowing the stillness to be an opportunity to check in, to listen to whatever your heart is telling you. And again, to maybe just leave the space open, to hold space for yourself on your mat today. And as you check in, if you're ready to deepen your breath, you might begin to expand each breath in and extend each breath out again. And as you expand each inhale and extend each exhale, you can either stay exactly as you are, or you can start to bring some movement back into your body. It's gently reawakening through fingers, toes, ankles, wrists. Maybe an inhale reaches your hands up overhead into your full body stretch again. And as you exhale, you can either bring your hands to your heart, just closing your practice from where you are on the earth, or you can take a moment to gently press your way up to a comfortable seat. And you take this final pause to recognize the time and intention that you devoted to your practice today, which is time and intention that you have devoted to deepening your relationship between you and you, your relationship between you and your body, and your relationship between you and your breath. So in deep gratitude of this practice and all that it offers us, let's take one more inhale through the nose together. And one more cleansing exhale, let it go. May yoga offer us a path to compassion. And may our individual practices serve as our individual teachers, our guides in living more authentically and loving more deeply each and every day. Thank you so, so much for being here. And namaste.